Well, hi there. This is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor, and thanks for joining me. And this is a short video on Sun Bonnet Sue and adding sashing. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it, and a like. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. God bless. Well, guys, this is another treasure that was given to me. Not given to me, but a friend in my Bible study class found a box with these Sun Bonnet Sue blocks in it, and it was her mother's. She has no idea how old, but from looking at the fabric, they are quite old. But they are all done by hand. And oh my goodness, she was an accomplished seamstress, so she did a wonderful job. The fabric is quite old. I don't know if it's going to hold up or not, but I told her that I would make a little quilt out of it. It's not going to be, as you can see, this is just a full-size bed, and you can see how small it's going to be, but I'm going to put about a 1.5 inch, 2-inch strip of sashing in between. I haven't researched. I don't know if Sun Bonnet Sue has sashing in it, but this fabric was down at the bottom of the box, and I'm going to use it. The lady had it in there for a reason, so I'm going to use it. It's going to be sashing, and if I have enough of it, it'll be the backing. But it won't be, tremendously big, because this is just a full-size bed, and you can see it's not going to be very big. But I don't want to add anything else to it. I think it would take away from, what it is. It's an original, and the lady made, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 blocks, and just a treasure. So I'm going to take them into my sewing room now, one row at a time, so I don't get them all mixed up. And I'm going to measure and get them all squared up to be the exact same size, which they might already be, but I haven't checked them out. And then I'm going to cut my sashing, like I said, maybe 1.5 inches, so that they'll be, after they're sewn, they'll be 1 inch wide, or I might do a 2-inch sashing. I haven't decided, but I'm anxious to get started on it. I want to make it for her. I know it'll be something she will just treasure so much. So that's what we're going to do, and on my next video, I'll show you, after I've got them all squared up, I'll show you how I'm going to put my sashing on. Okay, thank you. I have these precious little Sun Bonnet Sues, and I wanted to show you the easiest way to do sashing for any size block that you want. I saw this done by Nancy Zeman on Sewing with Nancy when she used to be on PBS, and neatest thing in the world, because I've always thought you had to do a strip and then had to do strips down the middle and whatever, and anyway, she showed how to do this. This is a 10.5 inch. I squared it to a 10.5 inch, which I really cut it close. I don't have really 1/4 of an inch right there, but that's going to have to work. I would advise you, if you can, not to trim it this close, but they were so kind of a little uneven, and I had to do it. But what you do is you just take and measure, and it's supposed to be a 10.5 inch blocks, and it was. So I cut me some 10.5-inch strips, 2 inches wide. I decided that that was a good ratio. If you had a bigger block, I think you would want it a little wider. If you have a smaller block, you want your sashing to be a little narrower. So you have to adjust according. So say you have a 12-inch block or a 14-inch block. Then you're going to square it up, and then you're going to, say it's 12 inches, you're going to cut a 12-inch strip. And then you're going to measure and cut strips accordingly, this length, and cut you just stacks of them. Now, I said there was 22 blocks, and I can't count. There's 25 of these little blocks. So you would want 25 of the 2.5 and 25 of the 12. And that's probably not right, so disregard. I haven't added that up. But anyway, here's my 12-inch strips already cut and my 10.5-inch. And I just pinned it on right sides together, of course, and sewed it. And then sewed the other one. And when you put them together, you already have your middle sashing. You already have the top row. Isn't that the neatest idea? Now, maybe you already do your sashing that way, but I know there's a lot of you that don't, but I hadn't done it that way until I saw Nancy Zeman doing it, and she was such a wonderful teacher and showed you lots of good tricks. Now, I don't know where you can get the pattern for Sun Bonnet Sue, but it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, and the little hand is 5, so just 5 pieces. And she's put it on and attached it by hand. So these pieces are just put on by hand. I don't think there's any, it's not ironed on with pell-on or anything. I just think it's just hand sewed on. But I hope you'll try this method. And of course, you just keep going with your other, I'll go on with my other 3 squares. And then when you sew them together, they're done. They're together. They're done. The sashing and everything. It's just, well, if you don't learn anything from Nickel and Dime Decor, I hope you take that little tip. And from cutting out, I don't know if I'm going to have enough for the backing, but I have plenty of blue that I can use. But I wanted to tell you another little secret. If you find some blocks, that are quite old, and you would like to put them together, I would advise you to find some fabric that's pretty old. Now, I know you think that doesn't make any sense, but old fabric to old fabric will work much better than new fabric to old. In the Bible where it says Jesus told them not to put new wine into old wineskins, well, it's the same principle. So this fabric being quite old, is going to work just fine with this fabric. If she should decide, I would take it to the cleaners. I think they could be more careful than having it machine washed. I don't think that's going to work. But that's Sun Bonnet Sue so far. And, on the quilting, I don't know that there's going to be much quilting. I think what I will do is just put some stars periodically, scatter them, or maybe I don't know, circles, I don't know, but there's just going to be some things scattered around because you do an overall, you know, to me, in a way, that's going to take away from it. I think the less, the better, and we just want to hold our fabric to our backing and batting. So I'm going to find something and either trace it on here or I just haven't decided yet, but it's going to be something very, very simple to go with it. And I'm so pleased at how it's turning out. It's great. You know, I thought those were little pearls, and they are. I mean, you can't see that. I thought at first it was just a French knot, but that is a little pearl on there. Is that not precious? I'm just going to be so thrilled to give this to her. And it's just my pleasure to do this for her. Okay, that's some of it so far, but boy, if you want a really simple pattern to do, I would look up on the internet and find Sun Bonnet Sue. It's one of the very, very oldest patterns. It's been around for hundreds of years. I know at least 100 years. So it's probably, I don't know, but I bet you Civil War days. I'm just guessing, but okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was fun for you. God bless.